Right around the 2-yard line. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They come out here in the I. On 2nd down, Trubisky. And he's got it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Deion Sims, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They find some open field here. The 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now a 2nd down run for Murray. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it, but it's almost like you heard a whistle or something to stop this swing. A very strange...
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Red, up! Lock in.
They go play action with Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And got his man complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 74 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Dejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here we go.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs.
Let's go.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down. Here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Throw left side complete. It's Cohen. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Throwing here, Trubisky. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start the drive with Cook. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second half starts with a run by Murray. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins now. And the ball is knocked out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Linval Joseph able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down. They go play action. Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
We got any energy. Ready?
Throwing his Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Where's your hot?
3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to walk one deep left side here. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And this is caught at the 20. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 60 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. His throw incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 2nd and 10. It's Trubisky again. Forced out to his left. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know, they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cohen. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And Parkey's kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky, and he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2. Now it's Trubisky. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Back now at Soldier Field, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now out comes Minnesota. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And shutting him off, now open field. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This is Howard on 2nd down. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. Bailey got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try to run for it with Howard. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run. This is Cohen. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. This is Cohen. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Bears on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Cousins to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Cousins. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 51 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just...
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Cohen. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Down deep into Minnesota territory. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes their heart from them, and you see them start to sag, no better feeling for the team running the football.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. But, Charles, we saw it come.